At 35,000 feet, the Boeing 747-200B, known as Air Force One, hums through the sky, its passengers unaware of the aircraft's high-stakes mission. Behind an armored cockpit door and 2 decks of advanced technology, the plane is always ready for its ultimate drill. This term refers to a full-spectrum emergency, from missile threats to medical crises or national security incidents. While the exact procedures remain classified, declassified information and insider accounts help reconstruct how Air Force One transforms into a command center and combat platform at a moment's notice, a protocol forged in Cold War fire. Contingency planning for presidential aircraft began in earnest at the dawn of the Cold War, when Washington realized that a Soviet first strike could decapitate American leadership. Early VC-137 jets received hardened wiring and extra fuel tanks, but the real transformation arrived with the twin VC-25s delivered in 1990. These 747s were expressly engineered to keep a president alive, informed, and in charge, no matter what. Code Red is the distilled lesson of every hijacking, every missile test, and every terrorist plot since then. Threat detection and defensive activation. The outer skin of Air Force One hides a web of electronic watchers, radar warning receivers, missile approach sensors, and radio frequency jammers. If infrared detectors catch the hot plume of a shoulder-fired missile or ground radar paints the jet with targeting beams, a silent alert flashes on the flight deck consoles. In a single motion, the pilot toggles countermeasures. Armed below the tail cone, laser-based directional infrared countermeasures spool up. They are designed to blind heat-seeking missiles, while chaff and flares burst from pods along the belly to confuse radar-guided threats, locking down the presidential cabin. Simultaneously, Secret Service agents inside the presidential suite throw a hardened deadbolt, sealing a floating safe room around the commander-in-chief. The cabin walls are already lined with ballistic Kevlar panels. In Code Red, those panels become the last physical barrier between the president and catastrophe. A medical team races in, carrying a trauma kit identical to what you would see in a forward field hospital, ready to treat everything from shrapnel wounds to cardiac arrest. The Sky High Situation Room. The next priority is information superiority. To outside eyes, Air Force One is simply another radar blip, but its antenna farm can reach anywhere on Earth. Q-band dishes handshake with commercial satellites for routine traffic. When the pilot triggers Code Red, the avionics instantly hop to hardened military satellites, encrypting voice, video, and data at classification levels up to top secret/sensitive compartmented information. Inside the communications center, a compact clone of the White House Situation Room, techs patch the president into the National Military Command Center, Northcom CIA headquarters, and the FEMA watch floor all at once. 87 telephones across 3 secure networks light up. High-speed data links stream real-time overhead imagery to a conference screen bolted to the wall. Orders can be drafted, signed, and digitally transmitted to combatant commanders before most commercial jets could even declare an emergency, rerouting the Oval Office. Because the VC-25 carries enough fuel to fly more than 7,800 miles without landing, the immediate instinct under fire is not to ditch, it's to maneuver. If a surface threat appears, the jet may corkscrew upward, trading airspeed for altitude and forcing enemy sensors to reacquire. If the danger is en route, the crew chief consults classified charts of contingency airfields, remote strips pre-vetted for runway length, perimeter security, and rapid Secret Service reinforcement. Sometimes, however, the safest place is higher, not lower. During Code Red, pilots can request a steep stair-step climb directly into a reserved presidential altitude block well above commercial traffic, even superseding FAA flow control directives. When minutes turn into hours. Should the emergency drag on, Air Force One seamlessly morphs into a mobile White House. The aircraft boasts 4,000 square feet of office and living space, including a situation room, conference room, and a presidential stateroom with a fold-out desk for signing legislation. Classified servers and secure Wi-Fi keep staffers pushing policy memos, while the executive chef and 2 high-capacity galleys can feed 100 people for days without resupply. The Secret Service protective detail establishes a rotating guard shift at each hatch, while Air Force security specialists, armed with compact submachine guns and breaching gear, sweep the lower cargo holds for sabotage indicators. Even lavatory trash is inspected because a Code Red could mask an insider threat. Redundancy in steel and silicon. Most flyers know that two virtually identical VC-25s deploy on every presidential trip. One is primary, the other spare. If the lead jet develops a systems failure mid-crisis, the motorcade on the tarmac can pivot to the backup in minutes. But redundancy runs deeper than duplicate airframes. Each VC-25 stores mirror image navigational data, encrypted keys, and flight deck software images. In Code Red, the jets talk to each other over an air-to-air data link, silently passing threat updates so the escort aircraft stays one step ahead of danger. A historical test. The only publicly acknowledged near Code Red occurred on September 11th. Minutes after President George W. Bush departed Sarasota, the Secret Service believed a hijacked airliner was targeting Air Force One. Agents doubled identity checks, weapons came off safety, and the VC-25 executed an unplanned sprint to 45,000 feet. NORAD scrambled fighter escorts, and the flight plan was diverted first to Barksdale AFB, then to Offutt AFB, before finally returning to Washington. The event validated two Code Red pillars. 1. Secure comms. Bush spoke with the Vice President, NSA, and combatant commanders simultaneously. And 2. Flexible routing. 3 landings in 7 hours without a single public schedule leak. Medical lifeline at Mach 0.92. If the crisis involves health rather than hostility, Code Red slides into its medevac chapter. The onboard clinic is stocked with pharmaceuticals, a fold-out operating table, cardiac monitors, and negative pressure suction, more capability than many rural hospitals. The Air Force flight surgeon can request telemedicine support through encrypted video, pulling in specialists at Walter Reed. If the president requires immediate surgery, the pilot can drop to 10,000 feet to stabilize cabin pressure, while agents coordinate a surgical team to meet the aircraft. Electronic shields, and cyber walls. Modern threats are not only kinetic. The VC-25's 1990s-era avionics have been progressively hardened against hacking and electromagnetic pulse. Recent midlife upgrades added fiber optic backbones and shielded server racks capable of hot-swapping entire data paths if a cyber attack is detected. Directed energy active denial concepts, essentially airborne microwave blasters, are being explored for the next-generation VC-25B fleet scheduled for delivery within a few years. Each enhancement feeds directly into Code Red manuals. What was once a section on radio jamming now spans cyber forensics, data sanitization checklists, and quantum resilient encryption keys. Myth versus reality. Films like Air Force One show the president rappelling through cargo holds or firing pistols down the main aisle. In reality, Code Red playbooks prioritize immobilization over firefights. Secret Service agents secure choke points. Pilots climb or dive to shake a hostile aircraft, and the president is shepherded behind reinforced bulkheads. Far less cinematic, but infinitely more survivable. The difference underscores a broader truth. The real strength of Code Red is discipline, not drama. VC-25B and the future of Code Red. Boeing's upcoming VC-25B, based on the 747-8i airframe, will extend the playbook. Greater electrical output will power high-energy laser turrets, rumored to scorch incoming drones. Composite skin panels will reduce radar cross-section, and a new generation of satellite terminals will use steerable phased array antennas, allowing simultaneous links to multiple constellations. Every upgrade feeds a singular objective. Whatever the threat, the president should never feel a discernible hiccup in governing authority. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the secrets of Air Force One and its Code Red protocol, make sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more thrilling insights into the world of presidential security and aviation. Have any questions or thoughts? Drop them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Stay tuned for more high-flying content coming your way. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.